Hey everyone, welcome to day 4, Crush Burnout, Reclaim Your Life 5-day challenge. So we're almost there. We're almost to day 5. And really, this is quite simple. It may seem like it's a lot, but it really is quite simple and everything goes in chronological order. And tomorrow I'm going to think about packaging this when we go through this recap into, bite size so that I'm hoping no one feels overwhelmed. But it makes perfect sense to me. So day 4, welcome. Jen Deal, Quality of Life Strategist. If you're here live, pop in and say hey. If it's a replay, type replay in your comments, please, and thank you. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did yesterday. I'm going to talk a bit about things that are on my mind about routines, because we're talking today about daily routines. And then also I'm going to go through the document. So it's like we're doing the document together, and that way no one gets behind or feels like they're getting behind, because, we're trying to avoid stress at all costs, which is the point of the challenge. All right, so who's ready? Okay, let's get started. So day 4, we're talking about, you know what, let me back up a second. So day 1, just a recap, and I do this every day, and I just feel that it's important to recap. So day 1, we talked about the 3 stages of burnout. Where are you? Where do you fit in that? What was the eye-opening experience you had when you saw the graphic that I created? Day 2 was all about mindset. So looking at your goals, looking at your values, and making sure that they align with your personal and professional life. Okay. And then day 3, we were talking about, what did I do with my, I just went blank on that. I'm so sorry. Because I had a quote I wanted to talk to you about, and now, for the life of me, I can't find it. Okay, I'll find it. Well, I'll find it as we're going. But day 3, we were talking about self-love and self-care and how important that is. So day 1 was the three stages. Day 2 was the mindset. Day 3 was self-love and self-care, and that you feel that you're worthy of the self-love and self-care. And then today, day 4, we're talking about routine. Okay. So routines are good many of the times. And I want to start this out by talking to you about why they can be bad. So I did not put that in the document, but as we all know, the reason we get stressed, the reason we get anxious, the reason we get burnout is because we're doing something that is not beneficial to our physical and mental well-being. So that would be when a routine is harmful to you. When you are going through a daily routine that's not beneficial for your mental and your physical well-being. And so routines in general reduce stress, because every time we have to make a decision, that causes a little extra stress. We probably don't notice it because we make so many decisions, but the less decisions we make, the less stressed we are. And I'm not saying that we should not have routines. We should absolutely have routines, but only routines that are beneficial to our physical and mental well-being. Okay? So I'm going to give you some examples of bad routines, and then we'll jump into the document. So what if you're uncomfortably comfortable? That would be a not very good routine. And so what comes to mind, not very good routine, I don't know what I'm saying there, but a bad routine. And so what comes to mind is a job, a career. Let's say you're going to work, you're working 60 hours a week, but you are, hey Lena, but you're working so many hours, but at the same time, you are uncomfortably comfortable. Does that make sense? So you're so used to the routine of going to work. You're so used to working your butt off all of these hours. However, you have come to this point where you're no longer comfortable. You're uncomfortably comfortable. And I was at that point, and that's why I made this leap. Okay, so just think about if that fits in. And then also another example of when a routine would be bad and you would be uncomfortably comfortable would be relationships. We see it all the time. People stay with people for years and years and years because they're comfortable. Okay. But once you become uncomfortably comfortable, you know it. You don't enjoy going to work. You don't enjoy the relationships you're in. You know if you're uncomfortably comfortable and whether you need to reevaluate and pivot. Okay. And so another example of some more examples of bad routines. So Lena, I'm jumping into bad routines. We're talking about routines today. And so I'm jumping into bad routines, and then we're going to go through today's document, and that way you'll be done. Okay. So bad routines, not enough sleep. I know so many people, someone in this group actually, that goes to bed late and probably does not get enough sleep. And we know how sleep is so important, and we need sleep. I'm very much, I go to bed early. I'm in bed usually 9 o'clock, getting ready to fall asleep, getting my nightly routine on. So not enough sleep. That if you're going to bed too late, we need to change that. And how about going to bed a little bit earlier every single night until it becomes a habit? And sleep is good. Using devices in bed. So we always see, I've been known to do this, but getting in bed and looking at the phone, just not good. Something to do before we're going to bed and we're relaxing. We really want our body to get in this stage of relaxation, knowing that we're going to bed. And so if we're here looking at our phone with this bright light, then our body's saying, okay, we're still awake. It's not ready yet, and how good a night's sleep are you going to get with that? And then they always just talk about the blue light and all of that stuff. Checking emails every time you hear a ping. My emails come through my phone. I should probably turn that off. But, every time we get an email at work, every time we get an email on our phone, every time we get a text, every time we get some kind of notification, we stop what we're doing and we immediately see what the email is. And if it was an emergency, someone would call you. So how about scheduling a part of your day? Maybe it's 2 times a day, maybe first thing in the morning, maybe after lunch, maybe before you leave, whatever it is, so that it's an inefficient use of your time to continuously stop working on what you're doing to check something else. It's inefficient. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Saying yes when you should say no. Okay, I have a trick about this. Actually, if anyone's interested in this, I can send this to you. But I call it, let me think about this. It's yes, living life on your terms. So basically, when you're saying yes to something, when you should say no, you basically evaluate everything that's on your plate. And let me know if you want me to send this to you, but it's living life on your terms. So you're looking at everything that's on your plate, you're listing it down, you're writing it down, everything. And you're looking to see time for T for time, E for enjoyment, R for requirement, M for meaningful. So are you living life on your terms? TERM. So everything that you do, look at the amount of time that you spend doing it. Do you enjoy doing it? Is it required? And I don't mean, does Lena say it's required? Do you say it's required? I mean, is it required by law or something like that, like our taxes? Sorry, we have to do our taxes. And then is it meaningful? Okay. And then you kind of whittle your way down to the really important things. And those are the things on your plate. Okay. So let me know, leave a comment if you want me to send that to you. I can totally send that to you. Living life on your terms, TERM. Let me see, where was I? Multitasking during meetings. I've also been one of those people that have multitasked during meetings. And first of all, it's just disrespectful, to be looking at our phone or whatever it is. And it's just not an efficient use of our time. If we're in a meeting, we're in a meeting for a reason, and just to stay mindful of that. Gossiping, that is such negative energy. And I know I've been a part of that. It's very easy to do. We're humans. We are only humans, but gossiping, it's bad energy, bad feelings. So just don't partake in those kinds of conversations. Let's see. Oh, waiting to start something until you'll succeed at it. So that's kind of like stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that would be like me waiting to become a certified coach until I knew I was going to be successful. I just knew in my heart it felt right. And I took the leap. I know not many people would be scared to do that, but if you really know something so true in your heart, you don't have to wait until you know you'll succeed at it. If you're so passionate about something, you will succeed. Okay? Comparison game. We talked about this yesterday, comparing yourself to other people. I want what she wants. I want what he has. I wish I was her. I wish I was he. And you're not comparing apples to apples because you're not seeing the whole picture of that person. And so there's something I also said yesterday for day 3 was, if there's something you want that someone else has, then go get it. Don't go get theirs. Go get your own. Oh, I cracked myself up. I'm in rare form today. Okay. And this is my favorite one. Are you ready? It has all to do with this Crush Burnout, Reclaim Your Life Challenge. Working too much. Working too much, so that you're working so much that you have no time for yourself, no time for your relationships, no time for your loved ones. Working too much. We only have 2 hands, 2. So how about, instead of putting everything else on the back burner, maybe being more efficient at work? And I'm not saying because you're working too much that you're not being efficient. It could definitely be that you have too much on your plate, which would require a conversation with someone at work, because we spend so much time working. It's crazy. I mean, you see in Europe, they have all these weeks of vacation. They really, care about the human, our well-being, and people are just working too much, too much. So put the kibosh on that. Schedule how many hours are you going to work? And once you're done, and then no email checking, no anything when you leave. What else will help with this efficiency and productivity, just to help your day be more smoother and feel that when you leave that you have accomplished exactly what you've accomplished, is the to-do list, which I talk about in the document, and I'll get to that shortly, so that you'll have a productive day. And then I also talked about the emails. So you get to work, you have a to-do list. These are the things I want to accomplish. Heaven knows there's always distractions. Not everything goes exactly as planned. I know this from experience, but we do our best. We do our to-do list, and that's it. We put time for ourselves. And in order to do all the things that we've talked about throughout these 5 days, you're going to have to work less to achieve more of the personal. Okay. So if you're working 60 hours a week, there's something that needs to be reevaluated. And I wanted to read this quote to you before I get to the document, which I absolutely love this quote. I love it, love it, love it. The biggest things humans waste is time. It is taken way too much for granted, and it seems we only appreciate it when we've realized we've run out of time. How powerful is that? The biggest things humans waste is time. It is taken way too much for granted, and it seems we only appreciate it when we've realized we've run out of time. It's unknown. It's an anonymous author, but powerful, powerful. Time. What do you want to spend your time on? What values do you have that you want to spend more time on? I'm very passionate about this. Hope I'm not offending anyone. Okay, so now I'm going to hop over to the document. That way we'll go through this document together, and that way you'll be all caught up. Right, Lena? That quote is amazing. I'll type it in here so you have it if you want to share with anyone, okay? So day 4, we're just going to go through day 4 now. So that way you can be thinking about it, and that way you can say you have accomplished day 4. Okay, you ready? So we're talking about the daily routine. And here's another quote. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routines. And so I want to talk about the positive elements of a daily routine. So morning routine is paramount. It's the best time to add a routine because you're more productive in the morning. It sets a tone for a more positive day. And so you may want to start your morning with affirmations, 3 affirmations. Gratitude, what are you grateful for? Because it really gets your mindset off to the right start. Yeah, so you wake up, you're grateful for whatever it is, 3 things you're grateful for. And affirmations, 3 affirmations. Maybe you have your little voice memo already in your phone and you play those and say them back. It will take you literally 2 minutes to do that in the morning, but it will make a huge difference. So just try it and let me know how you make out. Starting with scheduling your day or creating a to-do list. So I'd love to know who does to-do lists. I always have a to-do list. It sets you up for success in achieving what you set out to do. So it doesn't mean be hard on yourself if you don't accomplish everything on that to-do list, but really organize your day. And then that'll speak to the efficiency, the productivity, to have more time for you and your loved ones. Chunk down large projects or tasks. Okay, so if you have something big on your plate, chunk it down into little steps so it doesn't seem so unmanageable. And then we talked about goals and visions on day 2, taking those, what are your top 3 goals? What are your top 3 visions? And how are you going to align your work and your personal life with those goals and visions? So another positive routine, a benefit could be taking your top 3 goals from day 2 and reevaluating these goals weekly. So you always have that top of mind. What are your goals? Instead of going through this robotic fashion of life, I always talk about this, getting up, eating, working, sleeping, repeat every day with blinders on, not really being awake and present to what's around us. And so here are some examples of good habits, and I'm looking right at the document that I loaded earlier. So some good habits: affirmations, bringing your lunch, buying something. I don't mean buying something all the time. Every now and then treat yourself. We don't want to get anybody in trouble. Cooking can be very therapeutic to some people. Create a soon list. So not a to-do list, but a soon list. What would you love to do in the next 3 months? Maybe a vacation, anything like that. Daily vitamins, deep breathing, drink a glass of cold water with lemon after waking. That's supposed to be great for your palate when you wake up. Drinking a calming beverage anytime during the day, like a tea. Eat healthy, exercise. Find a fun local activity. Meetup. Meetup's a great place to do that. You can go on Meetup on the app on your phone and find fun local activities. Gaze at the stars. Who would think? Hun, I'll be right back. I'm going to go gaze at the stars, or bring Honey along to gaze at the stars. How awesome does that sound? Go out in nature, have a date night, have a movie night, make your bed. For some reason, making your bed really also sets the tone for the day because you feel like you haven't left things undone. Meditation. I always talk about meditation. I do that daily. Personal development. I'm very passionate about personal development, continuous learning and growth. Once we stop learning, what's the point? Read something that aligns with your values. Reduce your work hours to allow for more personal hours. Oh my gosh, I could talk all day about that. Reevaluating your goals weekly. We talked about that. Review your next day the night before. So the night before, instead of doing that to-do list in the morning, you may want to consider doing a before you go to bed list. So maybe you look at your calendar for tomorrow. What's going on? Write your to-do list tonight for tomorrow. That way you already have in your mind what's going on. You're not waking up tomorrow like a crazy person, running around the house, grabbing the kids, grabbing the breakfast, and you don't even know what meetings you have. Okay, so I think I really like that one. Scheduling or to-do list. We talked about those. Go see a play. Self-care, self-love. We talked about that yesterday. Sleep in on your off days. That's fun. Take a relaxing bath. Use natural light whenever possible. And then yoga. So the action step for day 4 was to incorporate 15 to 20 minutes of any of the good habits I mentioned into your day. And it may sound like I'm giving you all of these things to add to your day, but don't forget that self-love and self-care is a good habit. So I asked you to incorporate self-love and self-care into your weekly routine. So that would be part of a good habit. Okay. And how much is really 15, 20 minutes? And I wrote something here I really want to read. Your life is the result of how you treat yourself. So begin treating yourself like the life you want. I'm going to say that one more time. Your life is the result of how you treat yourself. So begin treating yourself like the life you want. Okay. So this means spending 15 minutes, heaven forbid, on yourself. Doing whatever you choose from this list or whatever you think of yourself. These are just examples. So just go to the list, look at ones that stick out to you and say, hey, I'm going to do that. And no big deal. So, and then I give an example of what a typical week may look like. So Sunday may be morning affirmations, self-care and self-love, evaluating your goals, and then your to-do list for Monday. Done. Monday, I have morning affirmations every day, and then 15 minutes of a good habit every day, and then the calendar review the night before for the to-do list for the next day. So I have this all jotted down, but feel free to create your own. I also uploaded the Google Doc, the Google link, so you can click on the link and type in whatever you want there. That's everything, you guys. So just a real quick recap. Monday was, remember, the 3 stages of burnout. So we have stress, we have conservation of energy, and we have exhaustion. We do not want to get to that point. That's the whole point of this challenge. Step 2 was talking about the mindset, getting yourself in the right mindset. So what are your top 3 goals? What are your top 3 visions? And how are you aligning your personal and professional life with those goals and those values? Day 3, yesterday, we talked about self-love and self-care. How are you going to show yourself some self-love and self-care? Today, we talked about routine. How are you going to incorporate these things into your routine? And it may require reducing your work, reevaluating your work, reevaluating your relationships. It may require that. Only you know for sure. And then so tomorrow I'm going to hop on for the last day. We're going to go through a little more of a recap. I'm going to have it together in one package for you. And then next steps, what can you do after this 5 days? Because I know that people are able to make a shift in 5 days, but what can you do after this? Because it takes 18 days for a habit to form. And once you have that habit formed, you're golden, you're ready. And then tomorrow I'm giving away prizes. Who's excited about prizes? I'm giving away I'm giving to one person 4 months of coaching with me, one-on-one. And that's just amazing. We're going to make this shift. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that person. Because we're going to make an even larger shift in that person's life. The other thing I'm giving away is my Character Strengths Blueprint. It's a course, an online course encompassing some one-on-one coaching. So it's really talking about your strengths. How can we all have 24 strengths. What are your 24 strengths? You actually take an assessment that's done by the Values in Action Character Institute, the VIA. It's scientifically backed assessment. You have 24 strengths. What are your 24 strengths? What are your top strengths, your middle of the road strengths? How can you use those strengths starting now? And then there's some one-on-one coaching on that. So that's the Character Strengths Blueprint. And then I'm offering 20% off on all my coaching packages, my 4 and my 6-month coaching packages, just for you guys, just for members of this group, beginning tomorrow and ending Tuesday. So I'll go over that again tomorrow, but I'm just so excited to announce those winners. Actually, I might have Lauren, I might have you announce, so that way I feel like it's neutral. All right. Everybody okay? If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to pop the quote in the comments. Lena says she loves the quote. I love the quote too, Lena. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Remember to type replay if you're watching the replay. And let me know if you have any questions, concerns. How did this feel for you, this challenge? I really would like your feedback because I'm going to just do these challenges, try to do once a month. Not the same one every time, but once a month, try to do these challenges. All right, that's it. Much love. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.